What's up, dedicated Dragon Ball denizens? I'm Ryan, and we're here for another episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Okay, I don't know why I did that, but just kind of felt like it. Anyway, today we're going to do some previewing of stuff in here. We're going to go ahead and get into some previews of the new FB07 Wish for Shenron set. I'm going to go through the yellow cards this time, as they're the ones I'm most familiar with. We'll get previews of each set, each color, more like, before the set comes out. So we'll have those dropping mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I also have some other videos in store, so we may drop these just kind of occasionally as we go as well. So let's get into it. Alright, so the leader in this set is Frieza / Golden Frieza on the backside. So we're going to go through first the cards that support it in the new set. So basically all of the new cards, new battle cards with the support. And then I'll switch up this list. We're going to go through the extras and the legacy support. And we do get a surprising amount of legacy support with this set, which kind of makes sense because we know it's actually a leak and it's not 100% confirmed, but all signs point to yes, of the starter deck Frieza being the SBO2 manga set 2 leader starter deck Frieza reprint. So that means that Frieza is going to get a lot more support. It does make sense because when we look at Frieza, it just seems to be the least complete of all of the other 4 leaders, compared to the other 4 leaders of the set. So it makes sense, although at the same time, being the reprint, obviously that Frieza has different abilities, and I think when we're looking at it, and I'll show the other leader card in a second, we're really missing a lot that takes advantage of Frieza's ability, Golden Frieza. So let's have a look. So here it is, and oh my gosh, and I'm showing the alt art. Both of those were the alt arts, right? But oh my god, this is a beauty of a card. Green Vegeta has been my favorite alt art lead since it dropped, but it also looks even better in person than the sample card, so I really have to see this one in person. On paper, when I'm looking at it, and literally on paper, or maybe online, this Frieza looks even better. So I gotta see the purple and gold just really pop off the page here, along with that red in there. This could be my favorite, and I really like the angle of it. A lot of times we're really just kind of static with that leader, but I really love the angle of this one too. And this one is they've done really good on the alts of the front side, because for some weird reason I've usually been a fan more of the non-alts on the front side, but this is so cool. I wish they would do hollow on both sides, but maybe one day. So check it out. This Golden Frieza on the back side, it has kind of at first 4 costs. I mean, you awaken at 4, you draw a card, you're at 20k. So then check this out. End of turn, for one energy, reveal the top card of your life, and if the revealed card is a battle card with 6 or less and Frieza clan in its special traits, you may play it. So pretty good. I'm actually kind of taken aback here, and we're never going to beat the allegations of Fusion World players not reading, because I just read starting from the 1 until I actually was making this video, admittedly. So I'd been doing some testing with Frieza and just thinking it was activate main, just kind of assuming, but it is end of turn, so that kind of puts a little bit of a damper on things. And honestly, why? Why is it end of turn? I'm kind of just absorbing this right now. It should have been just activate main. There's no reason it should have, because even with activate main, this is still a really hard ability, and really the end of turn. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed at this, because you're taking a life, and it's rare that you're going to get that life back. So why are you not able to just attack that same turn with it? So pretty annoying, but at the same time, for 1 energy, you're obviously going to be able to play out a 6 or less. So a lot of times you're going to be wanting to play out your, at least at first, the 6 cost Frieza, the secret rare. That interestingly, this is that's kind of like the main card you're looking for, and this is a new leader. So it's what's going on here? Why are we not getting like a new 6 or more with it. So we do get some. We're going to talk about some of the others that you can play out. But I think your first one, you're going to want to play that. So anyway, that's what it's like. So let's start looking at some of the support. I don't want to harp too much on the leader itself. We'll do our stuff here. So then we've got 3-cost Ginyu. And it's funny, when we were looking at this, knowing that Ginyu has some cards where he's in others' bodies, including that frog, I thought it would be great if they put him into Gomah's body. And sure enough, here we are with that, right? So Ginyu is going to be a blocker. It's a 20k, 10k combo. It's a solid card. It's one that I would consider putting in this deck because of the 10k and it's a blocker. And obviously, this is going to be a trend for almost all the new reveals, is add 1 card from life to hand and add 1 card from hand to life. So that basically makes sure that when you are using Golden Frieza's skill, that you're going to be playing a Frieza clan card to do that. So almost everything has it. My one complaint is like, cool, like everything has that, but that's really like all we're getting. You know, that's kind of all we're getting with this set. So you're going to see as we go through. So next one is going to be Kui, 15k, also 10k combo. Add 1 card from life to hand. If this card is inactive, choose 1 card from your, add 1 card from your hand to life. I don't really understand this one. Like, if this card is inactive, like, why wouldn't it be? Like, I don't think there's anything oh, I guess there is, because Frieza's army. So if you're playing it from Frieza's spaceship, then it wouldn't work. This card, to me, I don't see it seeing play in the deck because it only has 15k attack. So what are you really doing? You don't really need to use this on playability until after you're awakened. So why would you play a 15k attacker once you're already awakened? Your opponent is probably awakened. So there's a couple of these cards in here that are like that just don't make a lot of sense to me. So this is one I don't even think I'm considering for the deck. Now the next one, this one is finally we've got ourselves our first pretty good card. However, it's kind of overshadowed by the SR. So it is a 4-cost 30k and 5k combo. So that's pretty good right there. So on play, choose 1 battle card in your opponent's rest area, switch it to rest mode. That's pretty good. If you need to rest something that's inactive, maybe your opponent wanted to throw something out there. And this one actually kind of works with your leader skill because if you're playing Frieza 6 cost at the end of turn, he KOs any card that's in rest mode. So this can kind of help you get there. Your opponent wanted to do that. You can rest mode whatever their card is and then end of turn KO it. And then the when attacking is really nice, especially because it's when attacking. If your leader has Frieza clan, draw a card. So if you could keep this guy alive, not extremely hard to defend, that can be a nice little draw engine for Frieza in the deck. So pretty cool. This is a card I do like. I am playing it in my initial list. I don't find myself playing it out that often though. Now here's another one that I do like as well. This one is a nice searcher card. 2-cost 5k. I mean, they could have put him up to 10 as a 2-cost 10k combo. I don't think it would have been too crazy, but whatever. If your leader has Frieza clan, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then look at 4 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal 1 card with 5 or less in Frieza. Add it to your hand. Rest at the bottom of your deck. Another card that I have a slight complaint on. I'm running this as a 4 of because it has 10k combo. But again, it could have either had 10k or knowing that like this deck needs our 6 cost. Why did we stop it at 5? Like, come on. We're going to play him out. And I'm going to cry when I bottom deck my 6 cost Frieza. Like, what are we doing here, Bandai? Like, there's no reason we shouldn't have made this 10k. This is a 2-cost searcher. You know, it costs us 2 charge to play him out. Like, it wouldn't have been OP in the slightest to say 6 cost. Whatever. Okay, moving on. And then we have Zarbon. Another one that I just don't know. Like, this card kind of almost works, right? 15k, 10k, 10k, and then 2 cost. So if your leader has Frieza in its card name, draw a card. The good thing about this one is it's it is obviously a card that you can play pre-awaken. So it's kind of like a dual cantrip. You could play it turn 2. Do I like it that much? I still feel like I would probably rather play the King Cold because I can add to life. I don't know. You know, at the same time, like, this is basically a draw. That's a draw. I don't know. At this point, I don't have this card in my initial list. Then we've got Gomah. If you have Ginyu, you've got to have Gomah, right? Now, this one is an interesting one on its own, right? So it's 10k 1 cost, 5k combo, activate main, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader has Frieza in its card name, add 1 card from life to hand, then 1 card from hand to life. So this one's cool. If you can get it to stick, this can be an every turn thing to where you don't have to play out other cards that are going to get your leader skill ready to go. It's cool. I like it, but I don't think I'm gonna include this one just because 1 costs are so easy to remove. Now next up is Chilled. This one I have another one I'm on the fence about. I do have this one in the deck. I don't like the 0 combo, but it is a 2 cost for 20k. So now finally we've got a 2 cost that we can attack with, which is part of why I do have this in my initial list. And then the on play. If your leader has Frieza Clan in his special traits, add 1 card from your life to your hand. Then play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 1 from your hand. So the good thing about this one is, in essence, for 2 energy, you can potentially awaken twice. You know, you can take 2 from life because you're going to take 1 from him. And then maybe we're going to go ahead and play out this guy. Or maybe you're going to play out another Frieza that we'll talk about later. So that's interesting. Then here is this one. This one kind of goes with Chilled, which is why I moved it up. I'm going a little bit out of order here. But we have Kabira Toby. If you have a rest mode Chilled, this card gains 5k power. And the cool thing about that is it's permanent, so it does include your opponent's turn. Not going to really get you a ton of leeway there because your opponent is usually going to be attacking with a 20k anyway, but it does help you a little bit. So for 2 costs, you can get 2 20k bodies out there if you want. This one is just not good enough to me. Like, I'm not going to include this even though I have Chilled in the deck. It's a 5k combo. I need Chilled out there. I don't know. I don't like it that much. Dodoria, a 20k attacker, 2 costs, but another 0k combo. Blocker, I don't think a 20k 2 cost blocker is going to get us much out there. Too easy to remove. So I'm, especially with 0k combo, I'm not including. It does have the on play, add 1 life from hand, and then if active mode, add 1 card from hand to life. It's a little bit annoying that they're like really just like saying, nah, you know what, we ain't gonna let you use Frieza's spaceship. Like, I don't know, kind of stupid, but whatever. They're really just like nerfing this deck way more than it needs to be nerfed. So then we have Frieza 2 cost. This is literally like the same Frieza 2 cost with the addition of add 1 card, 1 card from hand to life. It's literally the same guy, right? It's kind of comical in that sense, but I mean, I guess it's cool. And then we have this one. Now, this card I actually do like. Whenever I've been building a few yellow decks, I actually wish that we had this because we did get a cool Frieza, and it still doesn't quite do what I like, but we do have the 20k 10k combo 3 cost Frieza that when attacking adds to life. So it's basically that. And I'm like, I wish we had a 25k 5k, which we do get here. The downside is it's not a when attacking, it's on play, but we do still get to add 1 card from life to hand, add 1 card from hand to life, and switch any card to rest mode. So this is why I like this guy. We can rest any card. He still is a pretty good attacker for 3 costs, so I do like this guy, and we'll probably include him in the deck, but boy, is he ugly. Man, that's my like least favorite Frieza form, but anyway. All right, now we've got, but now we're getting into really like the top tier cards here. We've got the Mecha Frieza King Cold. For some odd reason, Bandai decided, at least for now, that this is going to be the only card that returns to life upon play. It's a solid card. Being a 5 cost gets a little bit harder to remove, and the 25k blocker is going to mean that you sometimes have some opportunities to block and keep him alive. Cool. And then the on play. So if this card was played from your life, add the top card of your deck to your life. So finally, we get something that does that, and unfortunately, don't get used to it because, yeah, like I said, it's the only one that actually does that. Cool. So to me, this one's going to be kind of one of the go-to cards for playing from life once you get your 6 cost out there, because you don't lose a life when you play it. You know, considering you only get 3 times to use this max, unless you to use Frieza's ability, unless you're using this. So this gives you more because, you know, that's max. All right, now we've got the cooler super combo. And I'm so stoked that we get the cooler as the super combo. I really love this alt art version of it. And remember, there is that 1 cost Frieza that you put into rest mode. And that one came out, I think, FB05 maybe. And you basically can search your top 3 for any Frieza clan. So that means Frieza now has a searchable super combo. So that's really good in my opinion. I'm so glad we got so many. Like almost every yellow super combo is a Frieza's army, and it just cracks me up. So now if you are playing Frieza, this is the ideal super combo. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to throw out that Zarbon unless you want to sacrifice your 1 cost Frieza, not searching for it. I don't. So anyway, all right, and then we've got this 1 cost Frieza. This is the alt art version of it. I really like this. I think, what are they calling it? Like cinematic alts or something like that. Not honestly, like not my favorite either. I look at all of the other alts and I really think they're like really cool. They're kind of more like I don't know, like badass, you know. And this one's just kind of comical, which is unfortunate, but whatever. It's still a cool card. Like I still like it. But I just don't like it as much as the others. So anyway, on play, if your leader has Frieza, add 1 card from your life to your hand, and then add 1 card from your hand to your life. And this one's actually interesting. Again, it has, because it has Frieza's army in it, it makes sure that you can't play it out with the Frieza spaceship. So just whatever. So this is another one that would work well with Chilled. It does have 10k combo in it too, so there are quite a few 10k combos you can put in this deck. This one, I want to fit it in, but I don't have a way to get it in my initial list yet, so I don't know how it's looking. All right, let's get into the SRs, right? Now, this card is so good. I love this card so much. It's a 25k 4 cost 5k combo, so pretty good there. So it does have this add 1 card from life to hand, 1 card from hand to life, and check this out, then switch 1 of your energy to active mode. So the great thing about this card is he's going to let you use your leader skill on turn 4, right? At 4 charge, you can do that. So that really helps. And then when attacking, choose 1 rest mode battle card, and it can't switch to active mode. So this is going to stun your opponent. So this is a obvious 4 of in your deck. Just a great card in here. Probably this is literally the best card that we got from the set for Frieza. So it's unfortunate that there aren't that many great ones, but whatever. Okay, next up is this one, and oh man, like look at the art on this one. Like this is pretty. It looks even better in person. Just a great card. Okay, it's a great looking card. Now, is it a great card in general? In my opinion, this one works way better in starter Frieza than this deck. I personally don't even know if I'm going to run it, as pretty as this card looks. So, it's a 5k 0k combo, 35k attack. Okay, it's a blocker. So, cool, you can play it out from life, and it's a blocker. It's going to be tough to do, but anyway, on play, choose up to 1 of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and up to 1 of their rest mode energy, and they can't switch to active mode. So that's kind of cool, the energy stun. But honestly, like, why couldn't we just return to life instead? Like, come on. Like, we don't need energy stun that much. I mean, if you are going to go ahead and play this one out earlier, you can maybe stop your opponent from putting a Majin Buu double strike out there or something. But I just don't see a big return on it from playing this guy to life. You don't want to play him from hand because you can't play him until turn 6. Otherwise, you can't use your leader skill. So by then, I feel like it's too late. And usually at turn 4, you're going to... the 6 cost Frieza is better to play. So this one just, like... it's frustrating because this, like, could have been a much better card than it was. We have to do some simple math here and see, like, 6 cost Frieza is better than this one, in my opinion, because it's kind of similar. Like, your opponent can play their 5 cost cards, but they're going to come out in rest mode. So it's the same thing, you know, in that regards, right? It's the same thing because they're going to play it out later. So I don't like it. It's really annoying to me. It's just, I just wish that this deck came out better, but you know, it is what it is. And by all means, I'm not saying this is a terrible deck. I think it has some pieces to work, especially considering we already have a lot of old Frieza clan cards that, like, work well with it. So it's not going to be a terrible deck. I just think it's not where it could have been. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard just to get a couple cards that don't do the add from hand to life ability, because we have so many of them. And give me some other stuff here. Give me some recovery, whatever. All right, now moving on to the extras and legacy support. We get 3 extras here. 2 of them, only 2 of them are Friezas. Now, the Golden Emperor is a 1 cost. If there's a Golden Frieza with a cost of 5 or more in your battle area, switch your leader with Frieza Clan in its special traits to active mode. Then you can't use extras for the turn. So I do kind of like this. Switch your leader with Frieza Clan means that you can use this on Cooler even if you want to. And, you know, Cooler is someone that suffers from draw power, so I almost think this is nice because you have to consider you're not only switching to active mode for an extra attack, but you're also going to be able to get an extra draw. So that's cool. On that, though, you know, the fact that you need a Frieza, you need a Golden Frieza with 5 or more, that means that you have to have, you know, you've only got 3 options. That new SR that I just showed that I don't like very much, the Secret Rare, or the OG Double Strike. So that, I mean, that's cool. You're probably going to get that. It's not that hard. But the kind of limitations of this card, you know, that you can't just play it out at any point, just kind of have me wondering, like, if this one even has a place in the deck. My initial list doesn't have this card in it. But, again, I haven't done much testing. Okay, now the next one, Earth Erase. Now, this is a really good card. Okay, add 1 card from life to hand. Add 1 card from hand to life. Cool, yet another one. Then choose up to 1 rest mode battle card with a cost of 5 or less and KO it. So that's really good. Like, now we've got something that we're talking about. You know, Yellow's biggest weakness overall is like there's not a ton of ways to KO cards aside from the final explosion. So now this one helps us out. You know, we have the 3 or 4 costs from final explosion. 4 costs has to be rested before. So now we've got this. So pretty cool. But I mean, it's not really a but, and that's why I paused. I'm going to say and. It's really an and. Like, think about this as an and. Like, and overall, as we're about to move into the legacy support, like, the funny thing about this, these whole cards is, number one, if you notice, they're kind of limiting Frieza's power because they're saying most of these cards that are Frieza Clan, you can only use the skill if it was played out in active mode, right? So it's kind of limiting Frieza from using them. But this is like the funniest thing ever. they're not leader locked, like, almost at all. Like, this card's not leader locked. Almost every card, there's, as long as you play it from hand, you can add to life and add from hand to life, which means, like, now pretty much any yellow leader now has the option of life cycling, of, like, getting dead cards out of hand, at least for that turn, and putting them into life. And then, you know, obviously you don't know what that initial life is, or sometimes you will, but it's kind of comedy to me that, like, yellow is just getting another mechanic that's not leader locked, and like, these cards mostly are going to work in Frieza, but there's definitely some that are going to be played in other decks. I mean, now we've got the other Frieza, like that 2-cost 20k Frieza that awakens is always a nice one, and now that one can be played anywhere. So it's just funny to me that we're getting all of this, but they make sure, not with Frieza's spaceship. We're going to limit Frieza, but not the other elites that don't even need it. So anyway, let's move on. All right, some of the legacy support, we'll start with the extra, is don't dream of resurrecting again. I only put the little piece of that on the side because I'm not typing all that in. But this card is really, really good. It kind of, I mean, is it going to make Vegeta viable again? I mean, Yellow Vegeta, one of my favorite leads. I did play that lead for a while. And it's just a leader that just won't go away. Like, this one just keeps resurrecting. He seems to kind of alternate sets where he's really good, and then the meta catches up to him, and then one card comes out that just makes him great again. Like, remember, like, he was pretty good in FB05. FB06 comes out, really the starter deck, and he just gets top tier again because of results of training, or whatever that, yeah, results of training. And then Majin Buu comes out, the Kid Buu that rests all his energy. He's not viable. Now we've got this card. I don't think it still makes him that, because he still can't do a ton to answer Buu. If he goes second, this card can be really good. You can attack with 5 or more, right? So it's an activate battle opponent's turn. Leader has to be Vegeta. Cards in battle get 10k, and then your opponent can't attack using battle cards with 5 or more. So that's gonna work and kind of gatekeep a lot of decks. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. Like, Vegito is going to be tough to struggle with that one, because we're wanting to, like, dual attack, especially my strategy of going Goku Black into that Vegito. So that's a really, really crazy, not a gatekeep, but a floodgate. Pretty crazy in that regard. So I think it's going to make him a little bit more viable yet again. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so now let's get into some other ones. Oddly enough, we get a ton of King Gomah support here. This card I actually do like. 20k, 10k combo, but the your turn, if you have 2 or more cards that include Demon Realm or Demon World in their special traits in your battle area, that includes this bad boy, this card gets 5k power. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos, I've been really focusing on a Vegeta, the Vegeta Daima build, using the Majin Buu and Ku and Arinsu with the Babidi blocker because he lets the Majins. And one thing I had mentioned was we need some more we need at least one 25k attacker. And this guy basically satisfies that, because we're always going to wanting to be playing him out with Arinsu. We're usually going to have that Demon World or Demon Realm field out there. So this guy comes out, and not only is he a 25k attacker, is that he has 10k combo. So just that alone with the permanent your turn helps. I mean, obviously opponent's turn, he goes back to 20. Not that cool, but we do get a 25k attacker. Now, the on play, obviously Vegeta is not going to be able to take advantage of, but this is a King Gomah support card. So this is really, really good for Gomah. If your leader's Gomah, add 1 card from life to hand so he can help awaken, then switch 1 of your energy to active mode. Oh, like, oh. This is crazy in a way. Because with Arinsu, this guy now gets played for free. switch one of your energy to active mode. Like, that's pretty crazy to me. If you're not playing with Aransu, he costs you 2. Just a really good card. I'm interested in Gomah. I've never played Gomah before, but I may have to start trying to test him out a little bit. And the rest of the support here is for Gomah. So now we've got Degasu. If your leader is King Gomah, look at 5 cards from top deck. Reveal a card of Demon Realm, Demon World. Place the rest at the bottom of their owner's deck in random order. Then discard a card from hand. So I see I think a lot of people are missing some of the value here, right? The discard 1 card from hand makes people like they liked it. They liked, oh, discard 1 from hand. So it is limiting in some ways. But we do it's almost like a draw 1, discard 1, right? With a searcher ability to it. And remember that we need to get fields in drop. So that's kind of where this is at. As a 10k combo, I think this is a really good card. In my opinion, I think it is good. So if you're playing Gomah, so I think you should include it in there. Then we've got Third Eye Gomah. This one's a rare. Permanent, this card's name is also treated as King Gomah in all areas. Cool. On play, if your leader is King Gomah, add 1 card from life to hand. Then play up to 1 field with a cost of 2 or less with Demon Realm or Demon World from your hand. Let me just stop and say this. Like, why do we have Demon Realm, Demon World? Like, just choose 1. This is unnecessary text. Like, come on, Bandai. This is, I don't know why we needed all this, but whatever. Pretty good card. I don't know. Honestly, is it that great? I'm not 100% sure sold on it because of the 15k attack, but I don't know. I don't know Gomah well enough to know that. But I do know this card is great. Okay, Giant Gomah, DA. Permanent, this card's name is also treated as King Gomah. Great. So this is really cool. So on play, discard 2 cards from your hand. Draw 1 card for each type of card with field that includes Demon Realm or Demon World in its special traits in your drop. So that's crazy. I mean, the discard 2 from hand lets you put those in. So you're going to hopefully draw those. And then draw 1 card for each type of card. So remember, it is different names. So it's not like 4 copies of the same one. You get 4. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's 5 cost, 35k, and even has a 5k combo. Just really good there. Activate main. Place this card in a battle area into its drop. Play a King Gomah with the cost of 4 or less from your drop. So that's really good there. Remember that we do have the 4 cost SR from the original set he came out in. That's crazy. I mean, this guy is looking to be a really good aggro deck. And right now I've really been switching to aggro. So not bad at all there. I think I definitely am a little bit more interested in building a King Gomah deck now. I'm not a big fan of his as a leader, but, you know, whatever. All right, let's get into the last one. We're almost there. So this one is the reprint card of the set. I really like these borders on that and the fact that they did different color for each color. We did see that on the Frieza. We got a few reprints. This one's definitely my least favorite of the reprints of the 3. I'm not a fan of this card. I think obviously only blue players are. It's kind of funny too that he's like getting beat up in the card, but whatever. Majin Buu Kid. This I don't even need to read it, right? It's the buff Buu in there. It's not buff in this case, but yeah, here we are. That's the reprint for the set. I'm not going to even talk about this card. If you get it, cool. But if not, cool. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Hope you enjoyed this episode here. We got some good stuff coming in. I reached the Masters rank. I reached Masters with Green Vegeta. So that's why I've been kind of lagging it on getting my Kid Coup video going. So we will have a Kid Coup video soon. I am focusing on these set preview summaries, whatever you want to call them. And then I'm also working on a Green Vegeta, like an ultimate guide to playing Green Vegeta. Obviously, I'm not God rank with him, but I got to Masters and just kind of getting there. I played a lot of matches, so I do feel like I know Green Vegeta really well. So I want to kind of get some details of, like, you know, what to charge, like what to do on different turns depending on board states. You know, there's obviously your ideal plays, but we don't always get there. And I think something about the Green Vegeta that we want to think about is like how to adapt and play, because it's a deck that really needs to adapt. Now, if you liked what you saw here, hit that subscribe button and become part of the Hawks Nest. We are a fearless flock of fabulous folks who love to do what we love. I love making these videos. Remember, guys, we are almost there, guys and gals, and anything in between. We are almost at 200 subs. I would love to reach that milestone this week. Come on, let's do it this week. Let's get to that 200 sub goal. So keep sharing this with your friends. Let's see if we can get more people into Fusion World, whether they're into it or not, just Dragon Ball fans. Share this video, please. But until then, we're going to see you all next time.